Hello YouTube, it is I, Vincent, back again with another video. And today I got a little bit of a fun one for you guys. I recently just hit 100 subscribers on my channel, which I know doesn't seem like a lot compared to a lot of the other bigger guitar channels, but I didn't even think that I would get 1 subscriber when I started making these videos. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for all being here, all 120 something of you guys right now. It seriously means the world. Legitimately did not even think I would have a fraction of what I have now, so sincerely thank you guys so much for being here, and I hope you guys stick around for more content in the future. So in celebration of hitting 100 subscribers, I thought it would be fun to kind of show you guys the guitars that I have, because honestly I haven't really talked about anything that I own in any of the videos that I have. I currently have 5 guitars. 5 guitars, just had to count again real quick because I wasn't really sure. And I'm gonna go through all of them one by one and tell you guys a little bit about each one of them. There's not gonna be any particular order in which I'm gonna be going through the instruments. It's not gonna be like going from my least favorite to my favorite. This is just kind of the order that I plopped them all on my bed right here. So with all that being said, let's get started with the first guitar. So the first guitar, which you may recognize from some of the guitar covers if you watch them, is my ESP E2 M2. This guitar is probably my favorite guitar that I own. I know I literally just said that this isn't in any order of favorites, but this is objectively my favorite guitar and I will die on that hill. This is my first ever Japanese ESP. I got this back in 2015 or 2016. Not necessarily sure. It was my junior year of high school. Before getting this guitar, I was pretty much a pure Schecter head, but this was my dream guitar for the longest time. So I saved up for a very, very long time. And then for Christmas, my dad helped me out, and then I was able to purchase this from Reverb for a pretty reasonable price. I got it for about $1,100, which, considering how much these things go for now, is a very, very good price. But from the second that I owned this instrument, it was love at first sight. From opening the case and just seeing how gorgeous this top was to actually playing it. This guitar is probably the benchmark to which I compare every single other guitar. The fretwork is perfect. It sounds amazing. It looks gorgeous. I can't get enough of this guitar. It's so just, it's perfect. It's got the EMGs, it's got the Floyd Rose. Just absolute chef's kiss of an instrument. Would not change a single thing about this. It is my pride and joy, and I love it so much. This guitar is actually the definition of if you love something, you let it go, and then it comes back. Because I actually traded this guitar to my friend, who then sold it immediately after getting it from me, and then I thought that I would never see this again. But then, like, I believe 1 or 2 years later, I ended up seeing this exact guitar for sale on a Facebook Marketplace, and I know it's the same one because I installed the Dunlop strap locks, and I've also sanded the back of the neck for it to be satin, which is only specific to my guitar, unless other people have done the same mods, which is realistic, I guess. They're not crazy mods, but still, I knew this was my guitar, so I messaged this guy. I think I traded him like a Schecter Blackjack SLS and then my Schecter Jeff Loomis for this guitar, which is probably a terrible trade value-wise, but I just needed to get this guitar back into my hands because I knew that there would never be another chance ever for me to be able to get this instrument again. My next guitar will be that guitar's twin sister. Not necessarily a twin, but this is my ESP E2 Horizon in this very lovely tiger fade finish on a quilt maple top. I got this guitar back in, I believe, 2020, 2021. Ish, somewhere ballpark around there. The main reason that I got this was because I did not own a guitar with a hardtail bridge at all. All of my guitars were Floyd's, and I just really needed a guitar with a hardtail that I could just tune on the fly to change like drop tuning, standard tuning, something just very simple where I could just bring it places and not be stuck to whatever tuning I have at any given time. I basically just got a hardtail version of the guitar that you just saw. It's got EMGs. This one's a carved top. It's the Horizon shape instead of the M2, which is a flat top. But aside from that, they're very similar instruments. I just wanted to basically get the exact same guitar as that, but just with the hardtail. It's as easy as that. I love that guitar. So I was like, I know I'm gonna love this one. I did the exact same mod to it where I sanded the neck to be satin because I cannot stand gloss necks. Also installed strap locks on this one as well, because obviously I need to have all of my strap locks be the same for on-stage usages. I got the Tune-O-Matic bridge instead of a Floyd, which I mean, it's fine. I would prefer a Floyd, but for functional purposes, this gets the job done. I need a guitar with a hardtail. So while I might not love this guitar quite as much as the last guitar that you saw, This guitar still has a very, very close spot in my heart. Ooh, getting through these quick. I thought this would take a lot longer. This guitar, surprise, surprise, is another ESP. As you can tell, ESP is my favorite guitar brand. I will probably own a million more ESPs in the future because they're just that good and that consistent. But that being said, this is my ESP E2 Horizon in a lovely purple sparkle finish. Oh my God. I still get goosebumps every time that I pick this guitar up because look how crazy that sparkle finish is, Jesus Christ. This one's probably one of my more recent acquisitions. I think I got this one in 2023. This guitar has pretty much been the culmination of me buying, selling, and trading 7-strings for the past like 5 years because I could not for the life of me find a 7-string that I actually enjoyed the feel of. I've played a gajillion 7-strings from a gajillion different brands that I will list right here. And absolutely none of them really clicked with me 100% the same way that my old ESPs did. The last 7-string that I had before this was a black comparison, which was fine. I liked it. It was fine. Like I said before, every 7-string that I've ever owned has been lacking, in my opinion, in some way, shape, or form. And this guitar is probably the first one that I would say has no compromises. I wish there was a Floyd, but if that's probably the only thing that I would change about this. The color is insane. The fretwork is immaculate. The neck, I was concerned would be a little bit chunky because ESP necks are a little bit thicker. They're not necessarily the super thin shredder necks like Ibanez's are. So I was kind of nervous going to a 7-string version of that shape that it would be too unwieldy, but it feels perfect in my hands. I'm shocked. I'm genuinely shocked at how good this feels in my hands. It doesn't feel too unwieldy, even though it's a 27-inch, so it's a baritone. It's got a pair of Fishman Moderns, which I can live with or without, but they sound good. They sound good. I get fantastic recordings out of this, and I just love it. This guitar does not have a sanded neck yet. I'm probably gonna make a video about that actually, but still got the gloss neck for now. I did change these strap locks to be Dunlop strap locks because again, I need to have all of my guitars be the same strap locks if I'm gonna be using them on stage. But all in all, this is an absolute workhorse of an instrument. I've written so many songs on this in the short time that I've owned it. It's such an inspirational instrument and I could stare at it all day. Wow, oh my God, it's not an ESP. That's so crazy. I'm gonna put an asterisk next to that statement and you'll see why in a quick second. But this is my Kramer SM1. I love this instrument. This is probably my main live guitar right now. Currently have this set to drop D. It's got a single Seymour Duncan JB, Floyd Rose right here, and probably the most obnoxious, bright, neon purple finish that you've ever seen in your life. This thing just screams 80s. I love this thing so much, honestly. I got this last year, actually. This was a present from my girlfriend for my birthday, which is absolutely crazy. Like, wife material right there for real. Like, can you imagine having your girlfriend buy you a guitar? I'm still in shock, honestly. This thing is absolutely insane. Even though it is technically my cheapest instrument, this thing absolutely can hold its own with every single other instrument that I own. The fretwork is honestly, it's not perfect, obviously, but for an import from Indonesia, from Kramer, who we haven't really heard anything notable of in the past like 30 years, it feels great. The playability is fantastic. The neck is a little bit chonkier than I'm used to, but didn't really take me super long to get used to that. The classic Kramer headstock, I love it. It is so nice to own a super duper 80s shredder guitar. And the reason that I put an asterisk when I said finally the first ESP guitar, that is because this is actually a reissue of the Kramer Stagemaster from the 80s. And for those of you who don't know, the Kramer Stagemasters back then were made by ESP in Japan. They basically just took ESP Horizons and then slapped the Kramer headstock on it and then called it a day. So even though this is a Kramer, it's basically a reissue of an 80s Horizon, which is exactly why it has the exact same horrendous volume placement that's directly next to the strings as all the other ESPs right there. But even though it may just be a Horizon in Kramer clothing, I am still gonna classify it as a different guitar than everything else. But as you can tell at this point, I very much so have a type when it comes to guitars. And finally, we have the creme de la creme. This is my most expensive guitar. This is my Schecter Custom Shop Sunset 6. This is objectively the nicest guitar that I own. I frankly still can't believe that I'm holding this. I got this for an absolutely ludicrous price. This thing goes for close to like $3 grand, brand new on Guitar Center, but I was able to snag it for $1,300 on Reverb. Granted, it's got some quirks to it. This isn't a perfectly stock instrument. It's got a kill switch and no volume knob. There's no volume knob. There's either 100 or 0, and it's not a toggle, so if I want to have no volume, I gotta just be holding this the entire time. So I don't really use this guitar on stage. Not that I really want to, because it's such an expensive instrument, but that's one of the little quirks. The other quirk is the pickups. These are DiMarzio PAFs. This guitar does not come stock with DiMarzio PAFs. It comes stock with Schecter San Andreas pickups, which I would have much preferred over these pickups, because I hate DiMarzio pickups. I hate DiMarzio pickups with every fiber of my being. I wish they would just go out of business, frankly, because the amount of guitars that they're in, I cannot stand it. I hate them. These are terrible pickups. I cannot get a good tone out of them to save my life. So eventually, I will be replacing them with some Schecter San Andreas pickups, because the previous owner graciously left them in the box. But for now, I'm stuck with these god-awful pickups that I cannot stand the sound of. But if we're taking the sound of the instrument out of the equation, this is the most immaculate instrument that I've ever played in my entire life. Oh my God, this is the best neck ever. Ever. I've played Mayonnaise, I've played Strandbergs, I've played Sirs, I've played USA PRSs. This is the best neck that I've ever played in my entire life. It's so sturdy. It's a single rock hard piece of maple. It is crazy stable, and it is so smooth. The ebony fretboard, the stainless steel frets, it is the best playing guitar and the most inspirational instrument that I have ever owned by a very large margin. And that's even with the fact that it has terrible, god-awful, terrible pickups. And it's got this, let me see if I can get it on camera, but the headstock looks insane. It's got a nice, lovely little purple fade flame maple piece on the headstock with the Schecter logo, and that just looks so clean. It's so perfectly masked off. There is not a single imperfection on this instrument except for these pickups. It is just an absolute work of art, and I cannot wait to finally get a good set of pickups into this thing and finally make it sound as good as it looks and plays. And that's all we got for today. Those are all the guitars that I currently have in my staple. As you can tell, I very much so have a type when it comes to guitars. If it is a super shredder that's got a Floyd Rose and comes in a nice flame color or purple color, it's probably right up my alley. I'm a very simple man in that regard. But I hope you guys enjoy learning a little bit more about the guitars that I like to play. I know that I had a lot of fun making this video, kind of taking a little trip down memory lane with these. And thank you guys again so much for 100 subscribers. Again, I literally have no words to express my gratitude. I did not believe that I would ever be here making videos for you guys, and the fact that there are people here that enjoy watching it just makes me so happy. So with all that being said, feel free to let me know down below in the comments which of these guitars was your personal favorite. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, and I'll catch you guys for the next video. Peace out.